We're back. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do the intro. Back. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do the intro. But yeah, this is my third time recording this because I hated the other two. But yes, this is sorry. This is the third episode of the third. I don't even want to say episode. This is the third poem of my new episode. Just because I'm quiet doesn't mean I don't have anything to say. Um, yeah, if you haven't seen it, watched it, go watch it. My first two commentaries are on this YouTube. Okay, this YouTube, so you can just click out of this one because you don't know just click out of this one, go to the first one, and then come back to this one. Go in order. And it's also on Spotify. Like all with all of them together already. So if you want to hear that, you can go on Spotify. Same name, you know, the one and only, the one and only. Okay, okay. So yeah, uh, this one is called m.b.f.e, which stands for man, body, female energy. Okay, I'm not gonna say it's self-explanatory because it's not. But it definitely talks a little bit about each single one. And of course, this is gonna be about an experience about myself. This is no shame, but this is me basically writing my feelings on paper and putting it into art. But yeah, so there's three stanzas. It's basically like it's like a how do I say this? Like a before, during, and after. Yeah, before, during, after. And like the before is not before I like interacted with this person, I guess you could say, but it's more so like before I realized what was actually taking place. Um, yeah, the first stanza is basically talking about how I'm changing my imperfections, my flaws for somebody that for a boy. That's what I say. For a boy, yes, I said boy. It's kind of a dig, because it's like, you made it seem like you were so like mature at the time, only to like do things that somebody of I mean, I don't even want to say like, if you know better, you do better, because that's not 100% true. But it's just like it's just giving very much facade, and yeah. Um, so that's why I said what I said, and I don't regret saying what I said. Okay, is what it is. Um, and the second stanza is talking about how it's kind of like a counter argument, a counter claim to the first stanza. Like, if you're really about it, if you're really that type of person, you wouldn't have put your person, me, in that state, you know. And, true, hurt people, but it's just like, I feel like, and this is just me talking, I feel like if you are an annoying person that like if you went through what's like what your new partner new experiences like already gone through, or like you just like how that feels based off of your friends, or like just like even like your past, like it probably wasn't even like the person right before them but like the person like, I don't know, 3 years ago or something. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, if you're, like I said, if you're really about it, you wouldn't take the time out to go through that whole cycle again. Because, you know, as humans, I feel like we just love cycles. Like, I know I do. Like, I know, like, I like to naturally get into cycles, and I'm like, I didn't even want to get this habit of doing this, but it's just like, circadian rhythm just like go around and around and around and around, and yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's just like, I feel like it's self-explanatory. Like, if you don't like, you wouldn't want to hurt somebody you really care about. I'm not saying you can't, but it's like, I feel like there's some things that are just inevitable. Not inevitable. There's some things that are just like, you can like you have free will to not do it if you don't want to do it, or if you do want to do it. But that's enough about that. And then the third part, no, I'm kidding. The third stanza and the ending is talking about the after effect of both of them, the realizations of both of them, that, I thought I was doing this in hopes of, in expectation of, that this, as in like me changing myself for you, for that person, is going to help our relationship, because you're not satisfied, or like you're acting as if you're not satisfied, but really you just want to take advantage of me. But this is not what that's about. But I'm just telling y'all, like, make it make sense. This is a commentary, so I feel like, me being transparent is okay. Um, if somebody wants to throw back in my face, so be it. That chapter in my life, that episode in my life has already expired. Like, it's been years. So yeah, I don't regret anything. I don't. I really don't. I can't regret anything, because one thing about me is, something bad can happen to me. Something that I didn't want to happen can happen to me. But later down the line, whether it's like months, weeks, days, hours, seconds later, I'm gonna know and realize and understand that it happened that way for the better of my sake. And it always happens that way. It always does. But yeah, the ending is just the realization of both of them. Um, yeah, I just wanted to satisfy that person. Like, I thought I was being satisfied, and I was just very like giddy and excited and just joyful to like be around that person. But it's just like, every moment that it like I feel like I was joyful, that person like just like purposely made it seem like, it's like, oh, I'm not satisfied, like I'm not, like, you know um but it is what it is. I just realized at the end that, I was trying to squish myself in a box that I was never going to fit, because I'm not squishable, I'm not boxable. Like, you can't box me in. Like, the amount of times, I don't know, it's just crazy. Like, the amount of times people think like they just know me based off of, like, I don't know, like, two words that I've said to them is crazy to me. Like, you see me, you see the energy that I bring into the room, and you see like the way I dress, and you're just like, oh, like, yeah, she's this type of girl. Like, no, no, I'm not. Like, I'm very much like, I have, there's different parts. There's different parts, and most people only get one, because people don't want to take the time out to get to know people anymore. Me, I love to get to know people. Like, I want to know everything. I want to know everything about you. Everything about you that is not surface level. Like, we can get to the surface level like another day, weeks, months, years later. Because you could just tell me, and I could just write that down and then just remember it. But I want to know stuff that like is dark and scary, you know. But that had nothing to do with the poem, but that was just like a free throw, like, whatever. But yeah, this experience was it was an experience that I would never trade because it it was like one of like the stepping stones for me to like realize and like start understanding like what self love is for me and how like you know stay 10 toes down like for myself and my persona because like I even though I wasn't giving anything materialistically, I was definitely giving my all and that person I like I'm pretty sure that person knew like I was giving my all. So and then on top of that, like, I was that was like I was in a very vulnerable state like me now, like no. But then like I was very vulnerable. I was very soft back then. And not in a way where like I was in my soft girl era. No, like I was naive. I still really didn't like life didn't really happen to me yet. So, you know, yeah. But yeah, I know this is like probably like, you know, it might be a sappy one. Like it might be, but like me coming on here and talking about like my poems or whatever the case is not me trying to like have a pity party. Like that's not what I do when I start talking about, traumatic experiences or just like experiences in general. Like I talk about them in hopes that like, you know, I can create a safe space for somebody else to just be able to be strong and vulnerable in the same light because nowadays being vulnerable is deemed as weak and that's not like it is not like I I want to honestly I want to get back I do like want to like tap more into like or get back into like my feminine, like really like hone in onto her because being your masculine as a feminine is so like survival mode. I don't want to be on survival mode 24/7. Like I only want to have to use that when I need to use that. So, yeah. But yeah, I can go more into depth about it, which I probably will, but me calling myself like SG's Nini SG's sad girl is not because I'm just sad 24/7. It's because, things have happened to me. I've realized them. Like I picked it all apart and I realized like, okay, like this is like what I needed to learn from this. And, like they all say, like like take what resonates, like throw away everything else that doesn't, or leave it for somebody else that will. But yeah, I don't call myself Nini SG's Nini Sad Girl because I'm sad. I call it because like I want to create a community and a safe space for everybody to be able to feel strong in their emotions because we all have emotions. Some people might think emotions are fake, but I feel like I don't know. This is just me because I'm on one side of the spectrum. I'm a very emotional person. I might not show it, but I am a very emotional person. And I am a very critical person, critical thinker, critical mind, critical everything. Critical. I'm critical, but I also feel. So I'm a very feely type person. But yeah, take what resonates from that. Um, yeah, this poem, um, it was a cool poem to write. I didn't really like when I was writing it, I didn't really tweak really like too much of anything to be honest. It was probably just like a word or like a spacing or something. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. And like I said, go watch the other ones and listen to the other ones. The full length version is already on Spotify, so if you want to go listen to that, listen to that. And then if you want to watch, like, listen to my first original podcast, it's how to make the childhood you happy. Go listen to that as well. My debut, like, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, go listen to that, watch that. You know, give me feedback. I love feedback. And yeah, like I always say, stay true, stay you, like True Jackson, Did I take that from somebody? Hopefully I didn't, but if I'm gonna get that. But yeah, guys, eat lots of everything. And yeah, do something nice for yourself today. Whatever that means. This is your sign to do something nice for yourself. And I'll see you guys in the next one.